Hey guys, welcome to Behind the Scenes. We are pretty much on schedule today, believe it or not, with all this crazy snow outside. So I just want to say hi. I feel like we have been together just about every day now with the Chloe Trench, which is really fun. So today I have a fun show for you. We're going to talk about the Chloe Trench, of course, and I'm going to show off some of your beautiful work. But I have a very special guest for you. This year I really want to feature some friends of mine and other people that I know that are starting businesses or run small businesses. And so every once in a while, I'm going to pop one in here so you can meet them. And today's guest, many of you already know. But pop in. If you've never been to the show before, say hi, say where you're from. It is amazing how many people get to know each other from being on the show and making comments back and forth. Well, you never know if your neighbor's sewing or fishing next to you. And actually, I had to say fishing is a big one because my friends down at Thread Cutters, I heard that you were in a booth next to a couple of my fishing friends. They texted me a photo of you. So actually, they texted the photo of you and I. So it's very cool. It's a small world, right? All right. Well, I see you all rolling in. So just one quick sec. Let me know that you can hear me. Give me my little wolf pack and say, yay, because you know how technology works. Some days it's good and some days it's not. It looks like we're good. Hi, Stacy. So we are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. So my YouTube friends, you can now leave comments that I can bring up on the screen as well. So that's something new in the last few weeks, which is very exciting. Okay. So first of all, the Chloe Trench has started, the sew along. And you see mine behind me? My cashmere kind of blends in with the background, but I'm just about ready to go on the last strip where I attach the lining to the outside. I just have to attach the pockets first, which I will be doing tomorrow. And Fashion Sewing Club members, don't forget we have a live chat tomorrow, so bring your questions. But not only are we talking about the Chloe Trench tomorrow, we're going to talk a little bit more about lace too, because I've got a really cool insert for you, a little pattern hack. So let's not make Terry wait any longer. You probably have met him before at some of the events that I've been at. Now, well, he was on here a couple days ago saying hi, so let's bring Kelly up. Hi, Kelly.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Everyone, welcome Kelly. So how are you today?
I'm doing good. I would say it's cold here, but nothing like what you're getting.
Look at that cute. I love the background. I mean, that's like a real room. It's not just a fake one. You're so organized.
It's a guest room, and we've turned it into our little craft room.
I love it. So, all right. So for those that don't know you, tell them where you live.
Okay. So I live in Lafayette, Louisiana. So yes, I am a Cajun boy. Well, big mama Cajun boy, because, we adore our mothers, as we should. I've been doing this type of business, embroidery business, for about 13 years now. I met you, I think, at one of the stores that I used to run about 5 or 6 years ago. You had did a sewing event at the store, and I felt the need to cook for that event. It's so funny because I remember you came in somewhat warm clothes because it was a little chilly that day, but by the end of the time that you ate all my food, you were literally sweating. And that's so funny.
So I have shared this story with the Wolfpack before. So now you know who's the culprit. He said, because you cooked for a couple days and you said, do you want hot food or how hot do you like it? And I'm like, I love hot food. And then I get
a little secret, as I was a very mischievous child. So as a slight punishment for me when I would do something bad, my mother used to take a little bit of Tabasco sauce and she'd put it on the tip of my tongue. Well, that just made it awful because now I can drink Tabasco sauce. So I really like hot food. So when you said hot, I was like, okay, she wants it hot. Yeah. So that's what I did.
And it was hot. And so I did. I had a sweater on and I was just, first time at your store, which was awesome. You had such a great group of people. And then lunch is served. And what was that anyways? It was...
I cooked shrimp stew with potato salad. And then it was around the Mardi Gras time. And so we went out and we got a king cake with the baby.
So a couple lessons all the way around for me. I ate there was such good shrimp in there, and I'm eating it, and I could feel what happens if I eat hot food, and I didn't realize this, but my neck will get red, and then I continue to get red, and then I start sweating out of my eyebrows, and then by the time I was finished, thank heavens, I had a tank top on underneath all my layers. I was stripped down to as little as I could, and I was still sweating. He's like, "Are you okay?"
Well, we actually turned off the heater and switched to the air conditioner just to keep everybody cool.
It was delicious.
That was so fun.
And then those of you that have not been to Mardi Gras, not familiar with the king cake tradition, which I was not, and I don't eat a lot of desserts. So they cut me this huge piece, and I go to eat it, and I had a couple little bites, and then I didn't want to be rude, so I gently, a little bit later, kind of snuck it into the trash, and everybody's like, "Where's your cake? Where's your king cake?" And I said, "Oh, I'm all finished." And they're like, "No, you have to eat it."
And there was a reason, because traditionally, whoever finds the baby in their piece of king cake, it's their turn to buy the next king cake for the next event. So we actually planted the baby in your piece to make you feel at home. And we had no idea that you had kind of just slid it off to the side. And we're like, no, you have to eat it. You have to finish.
And I learned, and there was a little baby. I still have it in my studio somewhere.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Oh, all right. So that was our experience. Now let's talk about sewing. You have a new business, and I have some photos to bring up for you. So let me just share my screen real quick to bring this up, because this is a pretty new business for you.
That's correct.
And I think I saw a little blurb of this with Reen, which is awesome. So I'm just going to scroll through a couple of these photos so everyone can see them. Do you see that? You might recognize a logo in there because they're working on something very cool. Laser Bee Studio. Now tell us, what's going on with this new business? It's very intriguing.
It is. So as probably all of your Wolfpack knows, that you all need thread to stitch. However, it can get a little crazy, and I have a little sample of probably what most people's little thread kits look like. It's just a box of, they even try and categorize it by color, which is nice. You think that you're organized. But then whenever you do certain embroidery projects or sewing projects, you have to be specific as to what colors. So you're fumbling through all these little threads, and then you're like, okay, I give up. I don't have it. So you go to the local store and you buy more of the threads. Then eventually you get home and you're like, oh, wait, I did have this thread. So you're wasting your money on all this excess thread. Now, what we've done is we have created, as you show in the picture, it's a custom insert. So what this does is it will hold, and actually I have a spool of your thread. So in this little compartment, and behind me is actually a couple of different of the units. They have it in black and also white. So it's a pull-out drawer that you can take next to your sewing machine, and the thread will actually fit inside the holder, and under it is the color number of the thread lasered in. So this is all wood, and it's all lasered with a laser machine. So whenever you're done, you can actually go ahead and let me go ahead and put this in here real quick. When you're done, it will fit inside the insert with all your threads in organizational numbers, and then you can snap it off, and then you can go back to your cabinet and you can insert it in. That way, for your projects, it's a quick and easy find as to whether or not if you actually have the color or if you need to go to the store and buy more. I love this. We were shocking to see that when we finally did organize our threads, we had a box. I'm talking a big moving box of overage is what we call it, of duplicate threads, some with still the labels on it. We were like, this is insane. We need to do something about this. So we actually created the insert. And so far, people are just loving it because it makes your life so much easier. So whenever we talked to you a while back and you said that you were going to be coming out with your thread line, we were like, well, we got to help Angela out. We got to create something special for her. So we designed up this thread insert. And as I'm actually putting it all together, because yes, every insert goes through my hands. So I'm putting it all together and I'm like, wait a minute. In one of the conversations Angela and I were having, she's mentioned something about it being serger thread. Now, I'm not a serger expert like you are, But I'm like, but normally when you buy serger thread, it's in combinations of at least 3 or 4. And I'm like, I looked at my partner and she's like, yeah, that's right. So I kind of mentioned to you, I'm like, Angela, what are we going to do here? I said, because I've already designed an insert with that holds one thread with the color. She's like, well, you know what? Let's ask the Wolfpack. I said, well, that's a great idea. So the option or the question is, because you said that some people are actually using it to sew and embroider with, which is
Yeah.
awesome because I love multi-purpose threads.
That wasn't even my idea. Pam did this with a group at ASG, and she used it for decorative stitching, and they loved it. And now I've heard from people that are using it for embroidery, which I haven't even done that yet. I'm still using it for my serger, and I do need 2 spools because I use them both in my loopers. So it's like a multi-functional.
Which is phenomenal. We love that kind of thread. So here's the question. Do we do an insert with singles, doubles, or 4s? And that's why we wanted to ask the Wolfpack their opinion. That way we can get to redesigning what they would like.
All right, so Wolfpack, I have a question for you, and I'm going to ask you to leave a comment, but I'm also going to put a poll up on Facebook next week sometime. Actually, I'll do it towards the end of this week so you don't forget, because I'm really curious. When Kelly and I were talking about this, I am curious because I have a big roll, but that's for commercial, for how I have the thread. But when I have my thread, it's either on a wall or in these cabinets. Now, what you have is amazing. I could see that for all of my thread because it's dust free. And I think Jan said that. That's a big thing. I'm up there with my little air can spraying my thread off all the time. And I tell you, it gets nasty if it stays up there too long. So I could go either way. I mean, I could open a package and have them all in order of number and then just grab it that way, and then have maybe drawer number 1, 2, and 3 are all the same thread, or maybe 1 and 2. I don't mind just having a room for 1 thread, because there's 60 colors. Not everybody's going to use 60 colors for their serger. And so if there's room for 1 of each, so you always have 1 of each, and then there's certain colors that you like to use for a serger, have those in an extra bin. That would be my vote. But I'm going to have you all vote and say, do you want, or would you want, and I'm asking this for a very important reason, but would you want to have, let me bring the trays up again on this screen.
Okay.
There you
go. These are the blank inserts, Angela, and those were designed especially with people who have multi brands of thread, which most of us do. And so with those inserts, you'll get just inspirational sayings lasered on the edge of it with no numbers. But each insert will hold 30 spools of traditional thread.
Right. So I like that.
You'll get 6 of those. Unfortunately, we do not produce the cabinet that it goes into, but we have did all the research and found that you can purchase these, and we do have links that I'll send you later as to where to get them. It's a 6-drawer insert cabinet, so you'll be able to have at least 6 drawers. So if you do have, like, let's say our Isacord brand thread, that's the 18 drawer insert collection, because there's 420 something colors to Isacord. So wow. You actually need to get 3 of the cabinets that hold 6 drawers each, and you'll get actually 3 extra drawers with just blank inserts for all your extra colors, or if you'd like to buy more of your primary colors, black, white, you can set those in the bottom drawers. We also have included on each drawer the little stickers. I don't know if I can zoom in close enough, with the color numbers that are going to be in that box. So there's no more guesswork as to, well, what drawer is that in, because you'll be able to see it on the front that this box will hold from this color to this color.
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. I think this is okay. So you have a few questions. Cool. The cabinet stack too, Reen says. Oh, Reen says she loves hers.
Hey, Reen.
Somebody asked if you have them in stock, but I'm going to let you answer that because you custom make them, don't you?
We do. We do have a few sets of backstock just for, just to have it ready, because it is a lengthy time process. But traditionally, like we just finally played the catch-up game, as they order, we do start the process of making them. So, but we have them on our Etsy page as to what's in stock and ready to go. We do ask that people be a little bit patient when it comes to from the time that they order to the time that they receive it, because like I said, everything is ordered and made and it goes through my hands. So it is a very sweat process that goes on.
Especially if you're making that that hot stew. So
Yeah, exactly.
awesome. Okay, so although I do have a ton of international friends, so don't take that the wrong way. Okay, so
Right.
I thought, and I'm reading through some of the comments. Oh, Jan says hers are in a Ziploc bag. They date way back.
I feel
Organization.
the pain, Jan.
So for a serger thread particularly, if they don't care what number it is, I mean for this, because this is the woolly poly thread, which is what we're talking about for the serging thread. So if you're
Correct.
using this thread for embroidery or serging, maybe they would want no numbers, and then they can just stack them according to color because the number's on the bottom if they get low. And that way, if they have two of one color, they can organize it however they want to because there's 60 colors. And
That's correct.
so far, I haven't had anybody order all 60, although I've had people order a lot of thread. They must be liking it.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. So a couple people said, Kathy says she prefers her with numbers because I have many different brands. So numbers is good also, but what about, I saw on yours that you have like, if it's a different brand or something, what if that
That's
whole
correct.
box was one brand? It was the Woolly Poly, Wonderful, Angela Wolf box. And then you have your brother.
Right now we currently have available the Isacord thread and Floriani thread, and then our blanks. By the end of the month, we are launching out the Robinson Anton thread and the Glide thread. So those will be ready to go at the end of the month. It's just people who want, and I've worked in retail stores before. You have people who come in and they're looking for a specific brand because that's what they want, and you can't deter them any other way. So there are a lot of people who have all of the Glide thread or all of the RA threads in their collection, and they just want to get it all organized. So that's why we've done blanks for people who don't mind having different varieties of thread, and then those who have all of one brand. So we're definitely trying to give options to everybody.
And, I'm reading some of these comments, and it's interesting because a lot of people that are making a comment, don't forget, I can see what you're writing below. So say, do you like numbers? Do you organize by color? How about brand? Just organize by brand? Let us know, because first off, I'm asking for, as you expand your business, you'll get a little wisdom from the Wolfpack, and these ladies sew a lot.
Exactly.
And also, I'm curious because I sort by color on my wall. I'm just like, I don't know. I do. And it's a whole mix of brands. Some spools are tall and short and whatever, but I would prefer if I organized in a cabinet. And I do have a few little bins, but they look like that bin you had that are either organized by color with a whole pile of different brands, or I might have a small bin with one brand. So everybody's saying that they organize by color, no numbers, by color.
Okay, so what I would suggest they do is they, when they order the blank inserts, each insert will hold 30 of your traditional size embroidery spools. We've done the math to where no matter what brand it is, it'll fit perfectly in the little notch and go in the cabinet. And then you would just have the excuse my fur babies in the background. I am broadcasting from in the house, and they get a little excited. But as I was saying, you'll just get the inspirational sayings laser on the side, and it wouldn't have any particular brand or number on it. That way, they can organize it however they would like in their cabinet.
Yeah.
And the cabinet does come with wheels, but the way we have it set up here, because we were limited to the space that we have, we went ahead and we popped the wheels off and we locked them in together as a tall unit. So if people are challenged as far as space-wise, you can go ahead and stack them. Or if you have a certain kind of sewing cabinet where you may have a lot of underneath space, you can go ahead and put them in underneath the cabinet. So it works different scenarios. It's an awesome system.
Both ways. So someone says, are the bins tall enough to store the bobbin on top of the thread? That's a good question.
No, I don't have to say no. And I don't think that there would be a way to do that with this system. Not to where it would function properly.
Yeah. because it would be too, I got an idea for whoever wants to do that, but that would be like rehacking your thing. I would take a little pin and stick a pin in there and then put it right in between these. So when this comes up like this, let me bring it up. Here you go. If you're diehard for and you want your bobbins in there, I would put just a little pin in the middle there and then just put it right there in between. Actually, you know what I do? I'd probably throw it in there and make the whole thing a mess, and then I'd ruin the whole organization process.
You actually just made me come up with something really quick. As a quick solution, all the spools have the opening at the bottom. So what you do is just put your bobbin in there and then set your thread on top of it.
Great idea. Great idea. See?
Thank you, Angela. You just made me be a little creative this morning.
So yes, there's room for your bobbin right underneath the thread.
Yes.
Oh, I'm reading everybody's comments. We've got organized by type, embroidery, then color greens. Also have a color chart. Boy, you are really organized, Pam. Organized by type. It's a mix of comments. So when I put the poll up this week, I'll give you guys a few options and then we'll just do like I can put it all into a pie chart. My least favorite thing in Everyone said put the bobbin inside the thread. Great idea.
Yeah.
Oh, here's one. Stacy says her mom puts a drinking straw in her cotton dowel and puts her bobbin on there. That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. The only thing that's a great idea, depending on the size of the cabinet. The only thing is we were precise with measurement. So when you actually close the lid, that way, because you can take it out of the cabinet, it won't fall over. It tips. Everything is nice and secure inside. So the straw with it being on top would probably not work with this particular thread box.
Gotcha. All right, you guys have any more questions? So what is, your Etsy shop? I have the logo for your Etsy shop. I just want to make sure that anybody who wants to go there can go there. Here it is. Laser, I'll bring the photo up. I love the logo here. There you go. laserbeestudio.etsy.com. Right. There's the logo.
And what we do is when you actually purchase an insert set from Laserbee, we welcome you to the hive.
I love that. So the one pack is the hive. That's fantastic. We have the hive. Here, Lynn has it.
That'd be kind of a cool little thing for you to do, Angela. If you can maybe get us a poll going on as to what we should call ourselves. Like you're the wolf pack. Come up with something cute for the hive pack or something. So that'd be kind of cool.
Okay, so help Kelly come up with a pack. Beehive.
There you go.
Has to do with bees. Honey. Sweetest
honey pack. That's cute. I like that.
Yeah. So, hey, Pam. So, yes. Well, the ones that he was showing on here are for my new thread. If that's what correct. That's what we were deciding if we want one number or just leave the numbers off and just have Angela Wolf Wonderfill thread. But he does this for other companies too. So in case you missed that part, it popped in.
Right. The Angela insert, we've done something special that we haven't done with other brands. We actually have your logo lasered into the wood right in the middle. So it is a special thing just for Angela Wolf. Oh, let me.
Awesome. I love that.
And it also does have your name on the side. I don't know if the angle, the side and the brand of the thread that you promote. That's yours. So
that's awesome. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited.
And either way they decide, as far as if they don't want the numbers or anything, your logo will stay here and we will still have your name and the brand of well, actually, we'll just put your name on the side. So we won't do any numbers and we won't put the name of the thread. That way, if they do have other threads they'd like to use with your insert, they can.
Yeah. And also, if they only order like 10, if they have 10 of the colors and they keep adding, and then they can just organize it all in one bin of Wonderfill Angela Wolf. Right. Okay, so you are going to have to go back to you've got the beehive, the honeycomb, the swarm, green says the swarm. I love that. Queen bees. Cool. That's a good one. Queen bees. I love that. Swarm, buzz zone, beehives. Oh gosh,
Well, I'm
these are
excited. I can't wait to sit down with all those names and have my partner and I decide what we're gonna do.
okay. So Yvette wants to know: are they heavy? Are the cabinets heavy?
No, no, they're all very lightweight. I mean, I've actually lifted the whole cabinet with the threads in it, and I mean, I'm a ninny baby, so I don't like to lift too heavy, and they weren't heavy for me.
Okay, there. That's good. And someone asked earlier, and I missed their question, but they wanted to know: are the cabinets different heights according to the thread, or how tall do the cabinets go?
You mean as far as stackable?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have, let's see, it's sets of six. So one, two, three, four. I think these are four cabinets in black that we have stacked together, and that's probably as high as I would go because they do tend to start getting a little top heavy and wobbly, and you wouldn't want, your new organized system to fall over the place. Would be a good thing.
That would not be good. Actually,
Right.
this was a good idea from Lynn. She said you could also add stickers to the center and the color on the top, which is a good idea. So these threads have the number on the bottom. So, and it's
Correct.
in an area where it's not like some of the embroidery threads where it pops off. So this isn't coming off. So if you have no number on the outside and you put this down and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm almost out of this color, the number's right here on the bottom. So for mine, that's how it is. So, which makes it easy.
Okay.
But you're getting
Well,
a lot of
idea. We could probably come up with some kind of because I've had the same things happen where the color sticker just pops right off.
Oh, I
So
hate
we could probably develop something to go ahead and put it on there.
that happens. I don't know about other brands, but there's a few brands that I use, and I will be swapping all my embroidery thread, and then I go back, and there's three bottoms sitting on my machine, and I'm like, oh, which one was which?
Because as you put it on the pin of the sewing machine and you pull it off, it holds it on there, and you're like, if you didn't pay attention and see that it happened, you're like, okay, where did that go? What thread is that? Because yeah, I feel the pain. Yep,
Okay.
there.
Jan says that is perfect, so you never lose track of what the thread is. That is.
Exactly.
All right. So what else, anything else you want to share with us about when they can go to your Etsy page. You're
Yes.
working.
And we do have myself and another, my co-owner, who are always ready to answer any questions that they have. And we are willing to try and customize the best we can to our ability. I mean, it can get a little crazy, but we do try and please. So if somebody comes up with this great idea, we will alter things or create things for them.
I think I found let me see if I can bring this up. I found there you go. Here's your Facebook page.
Yes,
so
we do have other items that we laser. We did a wonderful memorabilia cutting board. It was I think she was 98 years old, and she had this special recipe that she guarded like with her life. And on her dying bed, she finally gave somebody a recipe, and they reached out to us. And what we did was we ordered like 20-something cutting boards and lasered her handwritten recipe on cutting boards, and that was a gift to all the family.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Actually,
and then we also as you can see in one of the pictures, we are big into fleur-de-lis here in Louisiana, and then we also have a big crawfish festival here in Louisiana. So we've done some of the oh Jesus, those right there. And then also we promoted the Mardi Gras coming up with the Laissez les Bon Temps Relay. And for those of you who don't speak French, that means let the good times roll. So, and there's the cutting board with the big crawfish on it. Now you can't use these cutting boards after they've been lasered because it's just not, as with the inserts, I actually lacquer all the wood to go ahead. And I know I grew up with a mother that had a sewing room, and you did not walk into her sewing room with any kind of beverage. But some of us these days, we do drink our coffees and things like that, and accidents do happen. So if for some ungodly reason something was to spill, the wood would not be damaged because it's all protected with the lacquer spray.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So the cutting boards then are just for deco.
That is strictly decoration, yes.
Well, that's not all bad. I
have to say, when you reached out to me and said would I be willing to go live, I called all the hair and makeup people this morning, and they all showed up at my house real early. And I said, you know what? I showed them a picture of you, and I said, I want to look as good as Angela Wolf. And there was a bunch of noise going on. The room got silent, and they all packed up and left.
You're so cute, Kelly. You look awesome, and you are hilarious. I still am going to get you back for that hot food. Hey, Lynn wants to know, will you be in Phoenix next week at the Quilt and Sewing Show?
I will not. No. A lot of my travels have depleted due to I changed jobs and I do this now. So a lot of my time is spent at home in the shop getting all these things done. We will be traveling, I think, to a quilt show in Dallas. I want to say it's like midsummer or something like that. I could always post the site. We'll be there with the inserts for people who want to just purchase and have all the, because we are working on something top secret right now. And as soon as we are able to verbally say it, I'll let you know, and you can tell the Wolfpack. But it'll be even, well, I'm not going to say even better than the Angela Wolf, because you can't get any better than that. But it is going to be something special.
Good answer. I'll invite you back on. Yeah. Well, Kelly, everybody is, Wendy said she tried to win these on Reen's giveaway. Yeah, these are very cool. So I will keep everyone posted with what's going on with your progress on these. And we'll do a poll this week, which will be a lot of information to help you out. And then also, when you get the dates for a show you're going to be at where you have these, just let me know and I'll add it to my, I'll let the Wolfpack know.
Thank you, Angela. I appreciate all the support and love that you give us.
Well, everyone, say hi to Kelly. I love people who start new businesses because you know what? That's awesome. It's always a high risk. You know, we always make it look so glamorous when you're an entrepreneur, but it's a lot of hours,
right.
It's a lot of work, it's a lot of risk, but it's so worth it.
Yes.
All right.
It is. It is.
Bye, Kelly.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed my time. Love you.
Say
Thanks,
hi to
Wolfpack.
Everyone, give him the love.
Will do.
We'll have him back. Oh my gosh, that is the coolest thing ever. So first of all, I was reading through so many of your comments, and when I put the poll up, I'm dying to see what you have to say because so many of you organize your thread in different ways, and I love having where there's an insert where your thread can fit right into, and it's not going to end up falling all over and it's organized. I think as I'm reading your comments, I don't know, I kind of would still like to organize by color, but I definitely like having an insert where your thread can go in and it doesn't move around. I also like having the brand on the side. So he currently has a few brands they're doing it for. And I'm sure as they expand that, you can probably fill your boxes. But I just know that if I'm working with a certain brand of thread, I usually use that brand for everything, especially for embroidery. So I don't know. It would be fun to see your comments on that. So, all right, guys, I'm going to bring you up a few things. Don't forget about the contest because right now there's a giveaway for the Disney Scan and Cut. Yeah, that's like $1,200. So you can thank Blaine for that. And he'll be coming on next week at the end of the show to do that giveaway and to do giveaways throughout the show. So before I get to showing some of your photos for the Chloe Trench, next week I have some special guests. So those of you that are looking at starting a sewing business, or maybe you want to expand your sewing skills, doing alterations, custom clothing, teaching, anything like that. Have you heard of the organization ASDP, formerly known as PAC, Association of Sewing Design Professionals? So I will be having a few of the girls from MSDP on, which is a certification program. A lot of letters there, right? Sound like a smart person. So they're going to join me. I've been on their board for a couple of years now, and our focus is to help support that industry in a way where, let me give you an example. Many of us have talked about when you're doing a sewing business, if you taught yourself, sometimes you don't feel like you're good enough, or you don't know because you didn't get a certification from a school, I should say, or a college. I had got a college graduation, but it sure wasn't in sewing or fashion. It was in business, which I needed. So they're going to come on and explain. There's a program there for, I don't want to give the whole spoiler alert. But sometimes I've noticed when people have a certification that all of a sudden they feel that they can charge what they should be charging or charge more because they actually went through an entire certification. This isn't a college. It's just a course. So these girls are coming on next week. Blaine will be on next week in between giving away prizes and then the big Disney scan and cut. Oh, so, okay. So who is a member of Teresa's on there? Yes, Teresa, I'm in ASDP too. I always laugh though, because I used to say ASDP, I keep calling it PAC. I know. Oh, exactly how you feel right now, Stacy. Well, you want to show up for next week's show. All right, so now I want to show you guys some of your gorgeous work that you've been working on. And let me bring up my screen. Well, let's see here. Here we go. So let's see if I can make that just a smidge bigger. There we go. Me smaller, you bigger. Whose is this? I love this fabric. Karina, oh my gosh, I love this fabric. And the zipper. I love this. So what, I got to figure out what pattern this is. Oh, she pattern hacked the ruche tee. Karina, this is awesome. I love this. So this is in the Angela Patterns group. You could go to be that's free to join. That's not the Fashion Sewing Club. It's free. You can pop in, and these are some excellent photos. You screwed up the arms really good. Okay, I gotta laugh because that looks very cool with that stitching. I screwed up the arms really good. They were way too narrow, so I opened up the underarm seam and added a triangle. Problem solved. Very, very cute. All right, so hold on a sec. I think I have a few more in here. And there were a few fitting questions. So I'm going to go into the group and answer those individually, but I'm going to bring up a few of them here. And then Fashion Sewing Club members tomorrow will be fitting as well. So let me bring this back up. Okay. Janet, I love this. I saw this on Instagram this weekend, and I didn't even realize you had posted in the club yet. So she used the contrasting, and I'm still debating. The last thing I have to do is to do my belt. But look at how cute that belt looks because she has the green contrasting there. The sleeves look great. That just looks like such a classy jacket. And I love the drape. I can tell that you didn't use a real stiff interfacing, and it's just going to drape beautifully. Very, very cool. Oh, that looks so beautiful. So I forgot to ask, did you underline that one? I know we talked about this yesterday, but I cannot recall because that looks very beautiful on the inside. Or is that the back side of the fabric? Because that was lucky. So I know what the green is. That's the bias tape. You all have seen me doing that for a few weeks now. Very good looking. I could wear that any day. All right, let's see who else we have on here. Here is the scan and cut. Oh, nope. I already clicked on it today, so it won't let me in there. You can enter every single day up until next Wednesday. Okay, so Susan, this fabric, did you get this fabric from me? Because I have this fabric. And I forgot to ask you that. This is so cool. So she has been working on her Evelyn pattern hack. This plaid looks gorgeous. What a classic Chanel-like style. You did the quilting and the lining. That looks amazing. I love the pink. This, it looks like it came right out of my closet as well. I think we have similar tastes. Very good looking. Oh, there's her Evelyn. So cute. Doing a good job on that plaid. That's hard to match up sometimes. Hey, we've got Cynthia from Nova Scotia. Nice to see you here. Oh, Susan had guests. That's right. So Susan doesn't even know that we're bragging about her beautiful dress. She always gives good tips in there too. All right, let's see. There we go. Am I even showing you this? I'm talking and not showing. Oh, Tammy, I had your answer half answered and I forgot to hit send. Dang it. I can see you on there right now asking that. So I'll answer it now. Let me just flip through Susan's clothes here since I was looking at them myself and not even sharing them with you. Gorgeous. That's the Evelyn dress. So someone asked me about the Evelyn dress the other day, and that dress comes with sleeves too. Just in the photo, I have just, it looks like a sheath, but it actually comes with sleeves. Gorgeous. All right. So Tammy, let me bring you up here because you got a big old question for me. I'll just go down here. Let's see. I'm just teasing. Okay, Angela, I bought 4.5 yard bundle of your tweed fabric, which I love that fabric. Did you like the color on that, Tammy? Because it had black, white, and a little bit of red speckles. I have 2 more batches if anybody wants it, and then it's gone. I'm not ordering anymore. We can't all have the same jacket. Angela, I bought 4.5 yard bundle of your tweed fabric along with interfacing. Which interfacing should I use? And is there a way I can steam press the fabric so I don't have to take it to the dry cleaners? I'm impatient and want to get started. I agree. Also, would your thread work for sewing and serging? So the thread would work for serging for sure, Tammy. I haven't tried. Pam tried it for sewing, but I haven't tried it yet. So I can't say if it would work for sewing, but it would definitely work for serging. And you know what? Maybe what I'll do is test it tomorrow, because actually I was a little bummed I didn't test it already. I've been using the triple stitch with standard thread. I'll bet you the triple stitch with that thread would look beautiful. I'll test it before tomorrow, before Fashion Sewing Club, okay? Now the interfacing, I can't remember which one you have, but pretty much any of the interfacings would work with that because it should adhere. But if you'd like me to test, I have a little piece here if you want me to test it so you don't use your whole piece. One more thing, can you steam press it? Yes. So for those of you, you hear me talk about pre-shrinking your fabric, well, I'll just give you a quick visual. My off-white wool pants that I made 20 some years ago, like exactly 26 years ago, I think. It was my last year in college. I lined them with polyester and they were wool. They were the cutest things ever. Pleated, cuffed. I went the whole 9 yards. They fit perfect. So I wore them. And of course they were winter white. So I wore half of my dinner on them, took them to the dry cleaners and they shrunk. So the wool shrunk, but the polyester did not. So when I picked up my pants from the dry cleaner, like here, you can imagine, I'm like, uh-oh, here's the lining and here's the pant hem. Oh, I was just devastated. It also shrunk a little this way too. And I didn't have a lot more room in there to give out. So those pants went away to somebody that was about half my size and much shorter than I am. So you really want to steam press or care for your fabric the same way you're going to care for it later on. Now the Chloe Trench, if you're going to use fleece, denim, think of a few other things, maybe possibly cotton. Those would be the 3. Ponte knit, that would look great. All of those can be washed and dried. So you can wash and dry the fabric and it's totally pre-shrunk before you cut it out. Something like the fabric that Tammy's talking about, or a wool, a tweed, cashmere. Oh yeah, that's not going in the wash. Although one of these days we're going to take a field trip to that store in Berrien Springs, and she walked me through how she washes all of her wool with shampoo. She said not only does it turn out better, it puts the moisture back into the jacket. But anyways, that's for another day. So you can steam press it. And if you're not going to take it to the dry cleaners, lay the fabric flat and you just use a lot of steam, hot steam in your iron, and just hold the steam up. I usually hold it right above the fabric. You can almost watch it shrink. That fabric that you have doesn't have a lot of wool in it. It has a mixture. I think it was poly rayon. I don't remember offhand, but it's not going to shrink a lot. So just give it a good steam pressing before you put the interfacing on it. Does that help, Tammy? And I'm so sorry. And I typed the longest message. Sometimes I'll be in the middle of a message and then Win will come in or the phone will ring or I got to run and I forget to hit that enter. I'll get home and I'll have like 3 open emails. That's called multitasking. What did the cleaner do? Don't they know wool? So Wilson, it wasn't the cleaner's fault. It was my fault because I did not steam press the fabric. I did not pre-shrink the fabric before I sewed it. So it's not the dry cleaner's fault at all. The polyester doesn't shrink. The wool does. So if I didn't pre-shrink it and I make an outfit, then that's my fault. And if you've ever bought an outfit and it shrunk, you know exactly what I'm talking about. What happens after steaming and you get a stain on it? Oh no, Patricia. Did your iron drip? Okay. Good news and bad news about that. I had one beautiful wool. It was a wool blend, a very thin, kind of like this pink one that I used on it. It's So Easy. And it had drips. My iron dripped all over it and I had to throw it out. It was awful. So ladies and gentlemen, please help her out and tell her what she should do about these water spots. You have a few options. What fabric is it first? Let me know what fabric it is. If it's something that can be washed and dried, you can go ahead and wash and dry it and those water spots will come out. Okay, so Clovis, would a stretch denim work for the Chloe? Just go down a size. You know what? You don't even need to go down a size, Clovis, because if you have your right size, unless you want it to be really fitted, but you could also just take it in a little bit more, maybe, but you just don't want the sleeves to be too small. So stretch denim would look great. Now, what weight is it? Is it a heavier weight, like 10 or 12 ounce, or is it a lighter weight, 6 ounce? A lighter weight will drape better than a heavier weight. But you should not have to go down a size. And also, once you sew it together, you could try it on and then say, you know what, I'm just going to take it in a little bit more on the sides, and then you're good to go. Stacy, don't oversteam. My guy that fixed my machine say you can flood the iron. Oh, that must have been what some of us have done. Oh, Karina. Karina has a great idea for you, Patricia. Embroider over the steam. Isn't this what Janet just did? She saved her top because she embroidered over her iron mark. Okay, and your wool. Yeah, I don't have a good advice on that one. But I know some of you in here, and I'll ask again tomorrow in the Fashion Sewing Club to see if we can come up with anything else, are masters at getting stains out. Teresa says, damp washcloth with tiny bit of Dawn's dish soap. Now, I've used that, Teresa, on many things. I've never tried it on wool, but I have tried it on some other things. I've also tried vinegar, and that has worked, but I've never tried it on wool. Let me see. I just saw a couple more come up here. You got me, Melody. That's exactly what I said. Can the dry cleaner get it out? I'd ask them, but it didn't work for mine. But I had a lot of water spots, like water spots everywhere. And it just, I suppose, but I was doing this for a customer, so there was no excuse. And this was many years ago as well. And so I couldn't give them a half quality project. And if I was going to wash, if it would have been my own now, I probably would have hand washed it and brought it out and seen what happened to it and then tried it again. But that's not what they wanted. Sandy says, use a liquid called Grandma's Secret. I have that stuff, Sandy. I've never tried it, though. Has anybody tried that? I've never tried it. Oh, Liz says, clean your iron when you use light fabrics. I use a press cloth all the time. And if I don't use a press cloth, I use an iron shoe, which really makes a difference. Mel, it's in the notebook. All right, guys. Okay, so we are pretty much wrapped up, but let me just make sure. There was a few more cute outfits here that you got to see. Now, if you're going to bring this up, for information on the Chloe Trench Sewalong. You can go to Fashion Sewing with Angela Wolf. That's my blog. And it gives you the dates. One thing that we are doing, and I'm putting your names in little giveaways. A giveaway is, let's see if I can bring this up. If you will post a photo of your fabric, your Chloe pattern, and your lining, or what you're using, or maybe you're not using lining, post a photo either in the Angela Wolf Patterns group, in the Fashion Sewing Club group, or if you're on Instagram, you can post it and then you'll either tag me at Angela Wolf Fashion. That's my Instagram handle. Or you can do hashtag Angela Wolf or hashtag Angela Wolf Patterns. Those are the three that I watch for. So, and you will go into a little giveaway. Tomorrow is Fashion Sewing Club. Don't forget, we have a meeting at 2. You don't have to be live, but we're going to be talking about the Chloe, but we're also talking a little bit about some lace inserts, which is really on trend right now. I was very tempted to do it to my jacket. All right, let's see, I know there was, oh, here we go. All right, and then for the last one for today, bring this up. I love this one. This is so cute. So let me make myself small. So this is the ruche tee. Didn't this turn out adorable? So she used contrasting fabric for the front and back, and then she did the tall twisted collar. That, I would love that in a cream right now, like a cream colored, because that would look fabulous with my Chloe Trench. So thanks for the inspo on that collar there, because I'm going to use that for something like that for the Chloe, to go under the Chloe Trench. Very cute. All right, so there's a lot more photos. Share your photos. We're going to come on next week. I'll pop in probably before Wednesday because we've got a lot going on. So leave your comments below. I always love seeing you. I'm going to see if there's any quick questions. How do you join the fashion group? Marcy, go to academy.angelawolf.com. So it's academy.angelawolf.com. And if you did, I did send a newsletter out this week. If you didn't get a newsletter, make sure that you sign up for it on my website. But the Fashion Sewing Club is going up in price on February 1st from $8.99 a month to $14.99 a month. So it's a big increase. So, but if you're in before, you're grandfathered in. So I just don't want someone to call me on February 2nd and say, what? I never knew. I try to give you a heads up. We got a lot of videos in there. So, and we would love to have you. There's a free trial too. So if you go in and you're like, you know what, there's too much stuff in here. Or you go in and you say, it's too advanced or too beginner, you just let me know and you can cancel it anytime. All right. I just make sure I'm not missing any more questions. Oh, Melody, you guys are awesome. You won't regret joining. Kelly said he's sending love to the Wolfpack and thank you for all the help today. So we have to figure out what we're going to call your group. Is it the worker bees, the honeybees? Those are great. All right, guys. Well, have a great day. Go start enjoying working on your Chloe Trench, or I might have to go kind of squirrel and work on that ruche tee with that twisted collar. So have a great day. See you in the group and honeybees. Honeybees. Oh, I love that. Oh, Angela, put the collar in your blog, please. The one with the pink t-shirt. That's very cute. I love that. Okay, I'll work on it. Bye, you guys. Have a great day.